Nikki Crazy here. To give my 11 to 16 story. This might be long. I'm really nervous to do this because this is where my life started popping off. Alright, so obviously I got notes and man, there are a lot of things to go. There's a lot of things that happened, like so many things, like alright, so at 11 years old, I moved from Cowie Street to Newport Heights. So they were tearing down my old neighborhood because there was arsenic and all kinds of rats and shit underneath the buildings, and they were just really old. So they tore those down. I was fucking devastated. Like, I grew up there. It's all I knew, and they tear it down. So it'll never be again. Those memories are gone forever, and it really sucks because the kids nowadays, if they only knew, I grew up in the 90s. Anyway, this was like 2002 when they got knocked down though. I was 11, so 2000, yeah, 2. No, 1, because I was born in 92. Wait, no, so that would be 2003. Sorry, I can't do math right now. I'm not trying to do math right now. Alright, so I was devastated, like, really heartbroken, and I was in a new house, and I really didn't like it. I was crying. I remember I used to cry myself to sleep, like, a week, blah, blah, blah. I had to get used to it, right? So, that's when I moved, and then I was best friends with, I don't know, yeah, this was before I met. Alright, so 11, I was best friends with Caroline Powers, which is my god sister. You know, we had mad fun times, dude. There was this time, and I know she remembers because every time we get up, we always talk about it. About that time at Chili's. Both my moms worked at Chili's. We was fucking, we was chilling there watching SpongeBob. Now, mind you, I'm obsessed with SpongeBob at this point. Like, he was my husband. Like, SpongeBob was my husband. Like, who does that? So, we were singing, I think the Ants in the Pants song or one of the SpongeBob songs, and I told her stop singing my song because stop singing my man's song because I was singing it, and it was like the stupidest fight. But we literally got into a physical fight in the booth at Chili's. Like, this was before they started letting people in. Like, this was the morning time around like 10. They opened at like 11, so. We literally got into a fight over it. And then another time I remember, which is really funny. Oh my god. I don't know if this isn't criminalizing. It probably isn't, because this was like more than 15 years ago. So me and her, we lived, alright, so Valley Road, if anybody knows, has, it used to be Newport Mental Health, the building. And then she used to live right behind that on Woonsley. So, so we went there one day, and we was just like roaming the halls and stuff, like seeing if doors were open. Like, we were just mad bad and adventurous. So we almost got caught, and then on our way out, I was like, yo, should I pull it? Nigga, tell me why I pulled the fire alarm. Yo, we dipped around the thing, and all we had to do was hop the fence, and we was home. That was lit. Yeah, so the fire people came, and it was a big thing. Like, we didn't get in trouble, obviously, because nobody knew we did it, but that was fun. And then we got a job selling newspapers for the Newport Daily News, and we used to sell them by Highlight, which is a casino, and when you get off the highway, when you get off the bridge coming into Newport, there was like a red light, and then I used to be standing there. Well, me and her used to stand there, and then the other girl used to stand on the little island in between, like, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, but that happened. And then, oh my god, so after we got done working, we would usually go down to the mattress store. We would steal their stuffed animals that they had on the bed. I stole a memory foam pillow or something one time. We were really into Bratz, and when I tell you I had anything you could get for the Bratz, I had the big brats, I had the mini brats, I had the brats mini house, I had it all set up. Like, yeah, my shit was lit. And I used to collect a lot of things too. I used to collect rocks. Like, I used to collect rocks. I had OCD too. I still do really bad. So when I was 12 years old, I stopped being friends with Carolyn, and I was more friends with this girl, Isabella. I always forget her last name, but Isabella, Bella, you know who I'm talking about, girl. But yeah, she became my friend, and then we was hanging out for a little bit, and then we stopped, and then I was friends with, or maybe I was at 13, and 12 is when I started becoming friends with my foster sisters, Heather and Kendra Hernandez. Shout out to them. Those are my foster sisters. They was in a foster home down the hill from me. And they used to sneak out at night. I used to sneak to their window at night and bother them and shit. Like, it was mad fun, mad cool. And they had this brother, Danny. I do not remember his last name. But Danny, if you're out there with them blue eyes, this white kid, Danny, oh my God, with his blue eyes, I liked him. But I was like 12 and I wasn't really into like boys. I was more into girls. But I loved his eyes and that made me like him. Anyway, so I also remember when I think I was 11 or 12. No, I was at least 12 when I started watching Tamika. I don't remember her last name, but I know she is a bodybuilder right now, which shout out to that, because that's pretty fucking cool. Their mom owned, what was it? Sun Tanning in Middletown. I think that's right. I'm not sure. But, they owned a tanning thing, and so she's a bodybuilder now. Shout out to Tamika. Good for you, girl. She was like 8. I was like 12, babysitting her. We used to have so much fun. Those good times. I don't know if she remembers that, but it was good times. I kissed Mia Bruno, which she was the one who killed it for me with girls because, like, I kissed her and then, like, I tried to touch her and she was not having it. And then I was just like, maybe I can't get a girlfriend. And then at 13, I fell in love with Edward Reynolds. Shout out to you, boy. It was my first love, first everything. We lost virginities together. First one say I love yous. All that good stuff. All that cute stuff. And then I got engaged to that family, which after my papa died, a lot of things fell downhill. And that was actually around the time I met him in September. I think it was after my papa passed. It might have been. Around this time, I get a lot of dates mixed up, so I'm just gonna push that aside and go about what's on my mind and what I can think of, because that's what an autobiography is. It's everything you can remember in a book. But, autobiographies, I mean, obviously they tell the story of your life, and you don't have to tell every little detail, which I'm gonna tell, but, like, in a book, if you, like, miss a detail, like, how are you supposed to put that shit in there? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I feel like an autobiography takes a lot of time, a lot of thought. Like, you have to remember a lot. But, I feel like it also works in with the whole healing process, too. Moving on. So, around the time, either before or after I met Eddie, my papa died. Now, my papa obviously I never met my grandmother. She died way before I was born, but my papa was the glue to the family. He held all the family together. We always went to his house for the holidays, stuff like that. So when he passed, you can imagine that, none of my family really got together on the holidays. My mom lived in Newport, and now that when my mom brought my dad to work, now that we had nowhere to hang out during the day, we had to come back home because my papa sold his house, which he lived on 176 Alabama Ave in Providence. That house was amazing. I have so many memories there from birth. But it was really haunted. Probably still is because it's still there. Nobody, like, it's been demolished inside, but my mom used to tell me that they buried bodies in the walls, so the house will always be haunted, you fuckers. Anyway, I'm weird, I know. So, yeah, that happened. My mom got 63,000. So, as you can imagine, for the next couple years, we were straight. We were really good. Like, I had about almost 100 CDs. I had about 50 DVDs, plus the old Cranky Acres volumes, all the Punked, like all those series, like, and all the volumes and all the, like, I had all of them. It was ridiculous, but that's what I liked, I guess. And me and Isabella, I remember hanging out with her at the time too. We would go to like McDonald's and get food from her mom's job, and I'd go and buy sneakers and mad shit like from Expressions and just stupid things. So all that happened, and then I don't think I mentioned in other videos that I was very bullied in school. And I was in truancy court around this time, so I wasn't really trying to go to school. I was really bullied. Before this, I was wearing like high waters and fucking Payless Shaq shoes. So yeah, that happened. And alright, I'm trying to think of like how old I was and shit. So my mom got 63,000. We were set. We were buying rentals like every other week. Like, it was awesome. It's pretty great. So that happened. 14. I had a hotel party. My mom. Oh wait, when I was 12, I got my first cell phone. Forgot that. My mom and dad gave me a McDonald's Happy Meal. And they were like, oh, look in the bottom. Because at first I took out the toy, and I'm like, oh, what kind of toy I got? And they were like, look in the bottom, I think there's another toy. And I grab out a Nokia phone, one of the first phones. And so that was pretty cool. I found a phone in my Happy Meal. And oh my god, I racked my dad's bill up because I bought almost every ringtone. I had the ringback tones, and they were expensive. They were like $2 each, and I bought a lot of them, and I'd buy them, delete them, like, it was bad. 14 years old, they asked me what I wanted. I said a hotel party. So, me, Eddie, and then it was Nico and Allie. We all went to the hotel party. We had a hotel party. We didn't drink or nothing. I think my mom got us pizza or Chinese or some shit. But we had mad fun. And then, after, like, during my 14 year, the year I was 14, that summer, okay, was a rough summer for me. I started drinking every day. I was, I guess you could say, like, best friends with my TT Courtney, because she was my TT Courtney because she was Eddie's aunt or cousin. I think that was his cousin, but I would call her TT Courtney. She was, like, old enough to be my aunt. Like, she was 26 at the time, I think, and I was 13. I just turned 14. So that whole summer I spent at her house. We would drink every day. We'd smoke mad blunts. And it was just live. It was live as fuck. I was playing quarters with, like, people 20 years older than me. Like, I don't think... There was probably, like, 30 when I was 13. But anyway, I don't want to name any names. Like, my friends and shit, like, That's cool. But like who I used to play quarters with at her house, that doesn't need to be known. And then a couple months later, I broke up with Eddie. And started being promiscuous and sleeping around. I'm definitely not gonna name any names because I don't think that's very necessary either. But I was always having house parties, always drinking. Like my mom always said, like if you're gonna do something, do it in the house. But I also went to like other parties. Like people in Tawny Hill were having like the last Tawny Hill parties. Like when there was only like a couple streets up, and Evans was one of them. There was a lot of Evans Street parties, and I went to a lot of Pippi's parties. Everybody knows Pippi. She had some bomb ass parties back in the day, but you know everybody grows up. Remember that everybody grows up. But Pippi, shout out to you and your bodies. But so that was all happening. I failed 8th grade. I think that's when I was 14, not 15. Yeah. This was all 14. So I think I stopped going to the Boys and Girls Club right after the guy gave me a whole Yamaha piano, and he taught me how to go up the scale and down the scale without letting up, which was pretty cool. I was getting into a lot of music, but then I fell in love and everything went left. So I stopped going to Boys and Girls Club. Started having house parties, drinking a lot. Failed 8th grade, so I had to go to ALP, which that didn't really happen until I was 15. So I was having house parties. I was buying mad shit. Money was running out. 15th birthday came around. Alright, so my 15th birthday, I started being really promiscuous. I was messing with a lot of people, like different people too. Like I was hanging out with like mostly bloods, but I was like also seeing other people. It was just weird. It was a weird time in my life. I was just chilling with everybody, and it wasn't girls. It was all dudes. So like obviously all the girls thought I was fucking all these dudes, but I wasn't fucking all of them. I was like really chilling with niggas. Like, excuse me, I haven't made a video because I have a sinus infection or a cold. I don't know which one it is. But I sound pretty good right now, right? I think I'm clearing up. All right. All right. 15. So, 15-year-old summer was interesting for me. I was very promiscuous, and I just had a lot of guys coming to my house late at night, even if we were just chilling, you know what I'm saying? So, it was just weird. And then, one of these kids that grew up in the same neighborhood as me, his name is Alex Baker. He was one of the white boys. He came up to me. He was like, "Oh, you remember me?" Like, I remember his brother. I mean, his cousin. What was his name? We used to call him the Dirty Dozen. My mom used to call him the Dirty Dozen because there was literally a dozen kids next door. But we used to smash like TV. I was such a tomboy growing up, so I used to smash like TVs, and I used to smash like my radio, my old radio. I smashed out there. Like I smashed another old radio. Like yeah, we were just handicapped kids, basically. But he was another crazy white boy. So I saw him. Oh, Tommy. Crazy ass white boy. His cousin, Alex Baker, was cute. He was a cute white boy between both of them. And so he was like asking me, he was like, you know, what's with all these guys coming to your back door late at night? Like, you're better than that. Like, you could do so much better than that, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay. And then he wrote me, like, a little letter one night and, like, asked to be my girlfriend. So I stopped hanging out with everybody and got with him. Then by September, I calmed down, wasn't talking to nobody. I was with him. I was going to ALP. I was quieting down, winding down. I started going to my ALP classes, and then the year before that, I noticed that Caitlin Bartlett was in my she was in my truancy class. And then when I had to go to LP the next year, she was in my LP class, which was pretty cool because I remember her from when I was young. Well, I don't really remember her, but her brother, JR, we'll get to that part. Yeah, I remember him when I was younger. So, anywho. Oh, you know what? Something I just thought of, too. When I was 9 years old, 8 or 9, I had a crush on Carlos Febles, and he was playing basketball with his friends, and the ball rolled to me, and he was like, oh, if you give me the ball, I'll be your boyfriend, because he knew that I had a crush on him, and I gave him the ball so quick, and I was all smiling, and he was like, psych, and I was so crushed. And then I started hating him. But yeah, that was an interesting thought that just popped into my head. So around that time when I started going to LP, I started talking to Caitlin, and I met JR again. JR was my childhood crush. I thought he used to be so cool with his hat down to fucking here, smoking cigarettes at like 12, 13. Thought it was so cool. But anyway, so I met him again, and damn, that set my life off. So, fucking, alright, so it went like this. That September, I started ALP. I started talking to Caitlin again, whatever. I met JR again in October. So, in the month of October, I broke up with Alex, got with, excuse me, there's a cut in my nose. My nose is chapped. So, in that month, I broke up with Alex, got with JR. I was best friends with Stephanie Santos. And then I cried to JR and told him that I accidentally slept with Alex. And then we stayed together. And then Stephanie wanted to go and tell JR that I was still sleeping with Alex. So he broke up with me and got with Stephanie. Yay. Fun time, right? So that month, I'm going to end right there too, actually. Because that month is where I moved to Newport Heights. And then a lot of shit jumps off from there too, like a lot of drama. And I've been out here ever since, so I'm gonna have to like break it down like to maybe like a 25-30 minute video. Usually my videos don't go more than 30 minutes because I can't sit down and talk for that long unless like I'm high on something else. Like, yeah, it's too much. Like after this, I'm about to go play a video game or something. I can't even watch something. It's too much information in my head right now, and I probably missed a bunch of shit. But I mean, like I said, I wanted it to be juicy, but I'm not naming names. All right, and if y'all want to know anything, y'all can obviously ask me later. But so like I said, around this time, I was doing a lot of. So my mom got. This is where I go into a whole nother phase. My mother was the first person to smoke a joint with me. She used to buy me nips for my period cramps, and she used to give me Tramadol. So I got hooked on the Tramadol really bad. Like I said, I was going to forget some things. So I was on Tramadol really bad. And then my best friend, Felicia Rose, we had a job at Sheila Allen Styles, and it was like an all accessory. People are yelling out. Anyway, so it was only an accessory store, and it was out over on Thames. I ran the store for like 2 years. No, I don't know about 2 years. No, I worked there for 2 years. I don't know how long I ran the store, but I opened and closed every weekend. So that, I forgot about that. That happened when I was like 14, until I was like 15, yeah, because 16 I moved here. So I did forget that. That was an awesome time in my life because me and Felicia was doing the fucking thing. Like, yo, after work, we would take a backpack and literally take anything we wanted off the shelves and put in the backpack at my house. And the backpack would be from there, like, or the purse or whatever. Like, I still have purses from Sheila Allen Styles. I think, I don't know. My pashmina, this is from there. This beautiful thing. These were like fucking $35, bitch. Like, who is paying that? Only somebody who shops on Thames in Newport. But anyway, it's hot in my house, so I don't need this. But alright, so last but not least, so I was on a lot of pills and shit at this time. So in October of, I don't know what year, I was 15, and I was born in 92. Y'all do the math. I don't know what year, but I was on pills really bad, and I stole a bunch of Oxycontin and a bunch of Klonopin from my mom, and we got into a big fight about it. Now, I don't know if this was before or after. I think it was before, when I chopped my mom's thumb off. Yeah, she like tried to grab the knife from me, and I was like, get the fuck away from me, get away from me. She tried to grab the knife, and I like literally, her thumb was hanging by a piece of skin, and I don't feel good about that at all. People used to tell me all the time, why do you talk to your mother like that? Like, stop talking to your mother like that, because I disrespect her so bad. She gave me no boundaries, no, nothing. No boundaries, no stipulations, no. It was just, you can do whatever you want as long as you stay in the house. Why, I'm a homebody, but I'm still a fuck up. So, around this time, I got into a big fight with my mom, and apparently sorry, it's really hard to talk about it because she's gone. And I did it. Like, I beat her with a stick. Apparently, I was blacked out on Klonopin, and I beat her with a stick. And then I was at the hospital. And I remember being at the hospital, and I think they gave me like Ativan, and I was bugging because I couldn't use the phone, and I wanted to talk to my boyfriend, and it was like so retarded. But I'm gonna end that here because from the hospital I went to Bradley, and from Bradley I didn't see my mom for like 2 weeks. And it really affected me, but it didn't instill anything in me, you know. They just diagnosed me with bipolar 2, severe depression, and ADD, or ADHD, or whatever, and gave me fucking Prozac that I never took. And then once I got out of there, I was already moved into Chapel Terrace, so that's why this video ends here, because I moved. And then, my next video will be from 16. No, actually, was I? Yeah, I was 16. I thought it was 15, but I don't know. Like I said, I get all these years mixed up because it's like my whole life was a blur. And the way I treated my mom, I just want to tell everyone out there who's known me and who has known me that how I feel about my mom, yo, bro, I give myself credit for still being alive, bro. Like, whoever knows me knows how I used to treat my mother. It was really bad. I didn't start respecting my mother until like 2013 when I was homeless with my son and in Lucy's heart. I had to do so much. Like, but as always, thank y'all for listening. Thank you for your time, and I am gonna go clean up and watch something funny so I can not cry because, like, I don't know, it's a little much right now. But, I mean, I knew I was gonna cry doing these anyway. And, like, that's one of the main things that would make me cry is talking about my mom and, like, how I treated her, because that's why I lost her so soon. And I'm gonna make just a whole video on that one day, because that's just a whole video in itself. Literally. I still have trouble coming to terms sometimes with the regret. But I hope everybody stays safe, and whoever watches my videos, thank y'all for the love. And Nikki F Baby, aka Crazy.